Important notice. This video is not anti-vaccination or COVID denying, but rather combating the denial of SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19, the anti-vax community, and misinformation, fake news in general. All current medical advice and relevant laws for your country should be followed. Recommended vaccinations should be taken. Masks, social distancing, and preventative measures as required by your country should be used and followed. Thank you. (602-9679-21) is apparently a magic number. Don't forget it. Are these the end times? I don't know, but what I do know is that 5G conspiracy nuts, flat earthers, sovereign citizens, anti-vaxxers, etc. are all gathering together. With so much stupid working together, what could possibly go wrong? A little backstory. Meet Mark Sexton. He's an ex-policeman and an anti-vaxxer. This report in the Stratford-upon-Avon Herald is telling the story of when he attended, on the 18th of June, Leamington Police Station because he wanted to get the police to charge the Stratford MP and the vaccine minister, Nadeem Zahawi, with a criminal offence. He said, quote, "I want to report a criminal offence of misconduct in public office against the Warwickshire Member of Parliament. I'm also demanding the vaccines are stopped as a matter of urgency." Warwickshire Police said, "No further action is being taken by Warwickshire Police at this time as a result of this contact." Undeterred, Mark tried again. He attended Hammersmith Police Station on the 20th of December 2021 and he made another complaint regarding vaccinations. His complaint was of gross negligent manslaughter and serious misconduct in public office. His evidence was received and he was issued with a reference number 602-9679-21. Now, people contact the police all the time for many reasons, as we shall see. Hello, is that the police? Well, a guy on Facebook told me that I can be arrested because I stirred my tea in a clockwise direction, and that's against the Misuse of Teaspoons Act 1873. Is that right? And can I have a crime reference number, please?
No, that's not right, sir. There is no such criminal offence. I can't give you a crime reference number because no crime has been committed, but here's a call reference number. Thank you very much.
However, what if I report something that actually would be a crime? Hello, is that the police? Yeah, I've got this ongoing issue with my neighbour over the height of our hedging. And a few minutes ago, he came round and knocked on the door and punched me in the face. Yeah, and as he walked down the driveway, he kicked my car, denting the panel. Can I have a crime reference number, please?
Certainly, sir. In fact, you'll get two. One for the assault and one for the criminal damage. We'll arrange for an officer to see you and take a statement and investigate from there.
Thank you. Now, crime is recorded at the point of call, and when the officer attends, maybe he sees bruising to my face. I show him CCTV with the neighbour punching me and then kicking the car. There's a dent in the car. However, what if I have no bruising, my car is not dented and the CCTV shows nothing? And then when he speaks to the neighbour, he finds out that the neighbour was actually away on holiday. Then there's evidence to the contrary, and that would be no crime. What if I had actually said the Queen of England had done that to me? Then that crime would be closed with the balance of probabilities that no offence had taken place. Now, in Mark's case, he attended the police station and provided some evidence that would be recorded as a potential offence, and he would be given a crime reference number. So Mark's alleged offence and evidence would be then looked at, and he walks away with his crime reference number. Meanwhile, let's look at Dave Murphy, also known as Allegedly Dave, and also well known to be a drinker of urine. Now, Dave has this new idea about common law peace constables. Let's hear him.
I don't know if any of you know that there's a new initiative out there about common law peace constables.
Ah, so Dave, you've paid £25 for some wobbly ID, have you? Next, you'll be taking an oath.
I, David Mark Anthony Murphy, do solemnly declare and affirm that I will perform the service and duty required to uphold and protect the sovereignty, peace and welfare of my community, with integrity, diligence and impartiality, for the benefit of all men and women. I hereby do solemnly swear to uphold the inalienable rights, natural and common law, and the Constitution, prevent loss, harm or injury to the best of my ability.
Wow, I feel safer already. Sometime later, Dave arrives at a vaccination centre with a collection of other know-nothing blowhards, only to find that there are several police officers there. Let's see what happened.
Well, even though with the crime number being legit, do you still continue with that?
You're allowing genocide. It's against the Nuremburg Code.
Wow. And what exactly is genocide? I quote, "The deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group." Whereas in fact what we actually have is the administering of vaccinations that vastly improve your chances of survival and vastly reduce your chances of actually contracting or spreading a certain pandemic. The Nuremberg trials make no mention of masks, which are a medical intervention anyway and not an experiment, and with regard to the vaccine, it's tested and approved, therefore not a medical experiment. The closest thing in the Nuremberg trials to an Article 6 states the degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. Well, as I said, it's not an experiment, and secondly, the benefits far outweigh the risks.
So, as part of an ongoing live criminal investigation, okay, we have it on video evidence now. Because of the evidence that's been submitted for this crime, that you are committing an offence of misconduct in public office and perverting the course of justice.
That will be Mark Sexton's crime report.
So in that case, I'm going to have to ask you to arrest this man.
We're asking one police officer to arrest the other. Really?
Okay.
So we're going to have to.
I'm going to have to ask you to arrest these men.
And now you're asking another police officer to arrest the first two.
Okay.
Absolutely
not. Okay.
And now another one to arrest the first three. This is getting ridiculous, Dave. You're going to run out of police officers.
Absolutely not.
So all guilty then.
I'm going to have to arrest you, sir.
Yeah. You're all guilty.
Hold on a minute. So now you are going to arrest the police officers. This is going to be good.
I don't have to say anything. It may hold your defence to later rely on something you failed to mention when questioned.
Oh, that's sweet. He's even read the officer his rights.
Again, we don't want to do this. We need action being taken.
Yes.
So you know.
We care about people.
Yes.
We care about the people that are dying and being injured.
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
definitely.
If it saves one life.
This is mass genocide.
Now, I don't wish to appear churlish, but one does feel a churl coming on. Since the introduction of the vaccination programme, the proportion of people dying from COVID-19 has not so much fallen as plummeted, which is hardly an indicator of genocide.
Just doing my job.
And you know, when this all shakes out, you're going to be on the wrong side.
Yes.
Wrong side of history.
And that's
So we're going to have to
unfortunate.
call the police and have them taken.
Yeah.
So let me get this right, Dave. You apparently have arrested all the officers on scene, the last of whom had refused to arrest the previous officer, who you requested to arrest the officer before that, because he wouldn't arrest the first officer who was actually there in order to guard the vaccination centre. And now you're going to call the police on them.
If you make a phone call now and investigate what we're telling you about, you'll probably be seizing them today. So if this young gentleman here that's speaking to that lady could make a few phone calls, track the reference number,
That'll be 6029 679-21.
Ask about the people, the names that he's just given over. I think there's 4 gentlemen's names. Mark Sexton, yeah. And they
This gross stupidity eventually petered out, and Dave de-arrested virtually the entire UK police force. I think it was mainly for 2 reasons. One, he didn't have enough handcuffs and prison cells for them, and secondly, they all refused to be touched by someone who drinks urine and washes in it. But the stupidity doesn't end there. This important announcement appeared in the Rotherham Advertiser, a local newspaper in South Yorkshire. National emergency! Metropolitan Police crime number 6029... We've seen that before somewhere, haven't we? Criminal investigation, related crimes and threats to the public health, gross negligent manslaughter and misconduct in the public office. A further 18 offences have also been cited, including murder, fraud, GBH and multiple breaches of the Nuremburg Code. I'm only surprised that you didn't also cite walking around in a loud shirt in a built-up area late at night. See www.saveusnow.org. Oh yes. That's right, the same saveusnow.org that Mark Steele is involved with. Mark Steele, who believes that 5G is a weapon to kill everyone. And he is apparently very, very expert. The site mentions the appalling news that the 5G rollout kills babies before they are born, which shows how much we need to clear out the old decrepit systems. Yeah, total nut jobs. We can now confirm the 2017 depopulation defence intelligence documents showing the planned murder of over 55 million across the UK by 2025 using this biochemical weapon. So these conspiracy nuts think it's a plan to kill 55 million people, 80% of the UK's population, when in fact no more than a handful of people have died connected to the actual virus, whereas 153,000 people have died of COVID-19. The website then goes on to list a whole load of studies which apparently support their case. Only when you look at them, such as this one, 3 cases of acute venous thromboembolism in women after vaccination, or this one, vaccine-induced thrombotic thrombocytopenia, a rare but severe case of friendly fire in the battle against COVID-19 pandemic. Nobody has ever said that a vaccine is 100% safe, because it isn't. It never ever is. Have a look at these side effects. A type of blood disorder, anemia, a decrease in platelet clotting, large purple or brown skin blotches, decrease, and so on and so on and so on. And what's that for? Those are the side effects for aspirin, and nobody thinks twice about taking an aspirin. Let's have another look again at that emergency notice that was in the press. Do you have information to help? Have you lost a loved one due to COVID vaccine? Do you suffer headaches, blood clots, blindness, heart issues, strokes or myocarditis since the COVID-19 vaccine? We'd also like to hear from those illegally threatened with no jab, no job. Lois Bayliss at broadyorkshirelaw.co.uk. Let's have a look at Broad Yorkshire. Broad Yorkshire Law. We specialise in personal injury and family law. Defective products, construction claims, factory accidents, workplace health and safety, yada yada yada. Oh, medical negligence, bullying at work, bicycle accidents, animal attack claims. Do you know what? I can't see anything about misconduct in a public office, fraud, manslaughter, murder and the Nuremberg Code. I'm wondering if they've perhaps bitten off more than they can chew. But they also mention no jab, no job. Let's have a look and see what the British Medical Journal has to say about it. All employers, NHS included, are bound by health and safety laws to assess risk and reduce it. For decades, the NHS has required healthcare workers to be vaccinated against hepatitis B, even going further and requiring proof of adequate antibody response, as well as measles, varicella and tuberculosis. Yes, some will be medically unfit to fulfil their contracted duties, so their contract may be terminated. This is nothing new. You may be wondering, well, why is this so important? But Would you be happy having a surgeon who's positive for HIV operate on you? Well, in reality, the risk of serious harm to the population from an HIV positive surgeon is less than from an unvaccinated healthcare worker with asymptomatic COVID-19. So basically, the risk is there, and it has always been the case that with the NHS, if you don't have the correct vaccinations, you can lose your job. But you know, there's something else that's strange about this national emergency announcement. Oh yes, it's an advertisement. Reuters looked into it. Fact check: British newspaper retracted advert for vaccine crimes. The page contains misleading statements and uses the South Yorkshire Police logo without its approval. It also features contact information for a local solicitor. The advert is not part of an official campaign by the police. South Yorkshire Police did not and does not support this advert, a spokesman for the force told Reuters. We have asked the Solicitors Regulation Authority to investigate the apparent involvement of a solicitor's firm with the advert, the South Yorkshire Police spokesman added. Reuters addressed the false claim that the Metropolitan Police launched a criminal investigation into COVID-19 vaccines. The Metropolitan Police told Reuters that it was assessing documents submitted to a London police station, that will be report 6029-679-21, in support of allegations of criminality in relation to the UK's vaccine programme. A crime reference number was created, which is not an indication that an investigation is underway or that a crime has been committed, it said, but an acknowledgement that an allegation was received and recorded. No criminal investigation has been launched, the force added. This is further confirmed after someone emailed the Metropolitan Police and got this reply. Good morning, thank you for your email in regard to report 6029-679-21. This report has been closed and will not be investigated any further. Oh dear. But these purveyors of purist numpty actually went one step further. They filed a report with the International Criminal Court at The Hague. Oh yes, they did. They received a letter. Dear Sir, Madam, the Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court acknowledges receipt of your documents. This communication has been duly entered in a communication register of the office. We will give consideration to this communication as appropriate in accordance with the provisions of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Oh yes, these precious little princesses are very excited about that. You may hear them talk about the reference number OTP-CR-473/21. Unfortunately, they're so stupid they don't seem to have read the rest of the letter. Please note, this acknowledgement letter does not mean an investigation has been opened, nor that an investigation will be opened by the Office of the Prosecutor. Just like with the police, the reference number is just that, a reference number, no more, no less. I decided to send an email to Lois Bayliss of Broad Yorkshire Law just to see what she would say. Hi, I recently came across a call for information regarding manslaughter misconduct in a public office and information regarding side effects following the COVID jab. It even mentions murder and the Nuremburg Code. Is this some sort of class action lawsuit? Can I forward some form of claim onto you? It also mentioned any undue influence concerning no jab, no job. Can you please confirm if this is a real request put out by the police or yourselves and asking us to contact you, or has this been placed in the press unofficially? With regards, John Sensible. Well, I didn't expect a reply, but I got one this afternoon. This is a real request and the police report is real and active. Well, Lois, it would appear that the Metropolitan Police, whose report it is, would beg to differ. It would appear that the police in South Yorkshire have requested the Solicitors Organisation to look into yourselves. This doesn't look very good. As for you, Dave Murphy, and all the other anti-vax COVID denying fools, I have neither the time nor the crayons to explain it further to you. Until next time, stay safe and stay sensible. I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much.
Shut up and sit down.